Week 3 of Essentials marks the week that students begin to analyze or parse sentences. At this point, they have experienced an introduction to verbs, nouns, and pronouns, as well as the concept of classifying sentences, and they are ready to begin the process of examining a sentence in detail. In the Essentials curriculum, the steps of this process are called analytical tasks. The purpose of analytical tasks is for parents to dictate a sentence each day to their student and have a dialectic discussion with them in order to understand the parts of the sentence and how they work as a whole. This video tutorial will cover Analytical Task 3 in detail. This task is question confirmation. In Task 3, we use question confirmation to label each word in the sentence and then classify the sentence with its purpose, structure, and pattern. Through this task, children learn to ask themselves the right questions in order to identify the role each word plays in the sentence. Once each word is labeled, they then examine the sentence to discover the structure and pattern of the sentence. In this tutorial series, we will continue to follow the same sentence throughout all analytical tasks. The model sentence is, Trey likes apples, but Lily prefers oranges. On pages 332 through 335 of the Essentials curriculum, this sample sentence is examined and parsed through all 6 analytical tasks. In order to parse our model sentence completely, we will be using the Analytical Tasks Trivium Table as a guide throughout this tutorial series. To complete Task 3, we begin by identifying the independent and subordinate clauses in our sentence. Within this model sentence, we have 2 independent clauses which can stand alone and express a complete thought. Trey likes apples, and Lily prefers oranges. Let's examine our first independent clause together. Trey likes apples. Question 2 asks, who or what is this sentence about? This question helps us identify the subject. This sentence is about Trey, so he is our subject. We will label the word Trey with an SN for subject noun. The next question we ask is, what is being said about the subject? Within this sentence, we would answer, Trey likes. Likes is what is being said. This question helps us label the verb, so we will label the word likes with a V for verb. Next, we read the following statement. All sentences must have a subject and a predicate. Our next question asks, does anyone or anything receive the action? In our sample sentence, the answer is yes. The word apples receives the action of Trey likes. It is a direct object, so we label it DO, and we label our verb transitive with a T. There are no other parts of this question which apply in relation to our direct object in this model sentence. Now we move forward to question 10. Are there any conjunctions? If we look at our complete model sentence, the answer is yes. The word but is a conjunction that connects the 2 independent clauses in our model sentence together. To note this, we will label our conjunction with a letter C. Our final question is, are there any interjections? In our model sentence, there are not. If we circle back to the second independent clause to complete question confirmation, we would follow the same question path again. In doing this, we would find that the second clause also follows the SVT-DO pattern. Now that we have parsed and labeled each part of the model sentence, we now need to identify the sentence structure, purpose, and pattern. Looking at our labeled sentence above, we see one pattern repeated twice in the sentence, SVT-DO. We next need to examine the purpose of our sentence. Our sentence makes a statement, so we will label it declarative. Finally, we examine our sentence to determine the structure. Our sentence contains two independent clauses and the conjunction but to connect them, so we will label it as a compound sentence. Our final sentence classification would be compound, declarative, SVT-DO. This concludes Task 3, Question Confirmation, for our model sentence, Trey likes apples, but Lily prefers oranges. Thank you for viewing this tutorial on Analytical Task 3. Join us for Task 4, Diagram Confirmation, in the next installment. May God richly bless you and your family as you seek to know Him and to make Him known.